Hey everyone, Mr. Masay here. Welcome to round 2 of the 2021 Manufacturer Series, and we are using the Group 4 cars at Autodrome Lago Maggiore West, so let's go ahead and get this started. For this guide, we are on racing hard tires and the brake balance is at 0. You eventually want to bring yourself towards the right side of the track and brake just after you pass the 100 meter board. So here's the 100 meter board. We're going to brake just as we pass it, which is going to be right around here. Brake hard for a short while and slowly ease off of the brakes as you turn in. Take advantage of the curbs. Then brake before the white area on the right end and bring yourself all the way into the inside part of the track onto the yellow stuff. Nice and careful on the throttle on second gear. And for this turn, all you want to do is ease off of the throttle, turn in just as the curb on the right starts. And you want to go for a late apex, which is where the sausage curb on the right ends. Just make sure you don't hit it. It's all about throttle control and trying to get a fast exit. And for the S's, you can easily take it flat out. Just be nice and smooth on your turning inputs and bring yourself towards the left side of the track. Look for a digital flag that is on the left before the 50 meter board, as that is your next braking point. Brake hard for a short moment and slowly ease off of the brakes as you turn in. And for the Dodge Viper, I coast for a moment, so no braking nor throttle input, so the car can rotate a bit more. Just get under throttle as soon as you can while making sure that you don't touch the gravel. These next S's can easily be taken flat out as well. Take advantage of the curbs and the track limits. Bring yourself towards the left and brake before you reach the 50 meter board. Brake hard for a short moment. Slowly ease off of the brakes and be very careful getting on the throttle. Bring yourself to the left and use a little bit of braking just as a curb on the left ends. It's all about fine-tuning the car to try to get a fast exit and get on the throttle as soon as you can. Finally, bring yourself towards the right, brake before you reach the 50 meter board, before the curb on the right ends. And for this turn, you want to try to take full advantage of the curb that is on the left, get all 4 wheels on it if possible, and get on the throttle as soon as you can. But that's all for the lap guide. Let's go ahead and take a look at the strategies. For the qualifying session, you only have 5 minutes to try to get a good qualifying time, which means that you're going to have 2 to 3 chances to try to get a good qualifying time. If you get lucky, you will get 3 chances. It mostly depends on when you get out of the pit stop and where you are in the pit lane. So at minimum, you'll get 2 chances. At most, you'll get 3. And the tire wear rate is pretty low. You're on the racing hard tires, so the moment that you get out of the pit stop, you want to pretty much just start to push. In the higher rated lobbies, slipstream is more or less going to be a mandatory thing, and in a moment I'm going to zoom in on the map because there are a couple groups of cars that are taking advantage of the slipstream qualifying. Some of them are in the back straight and some of them are approaching turn 1. So those group of cars that I highlighted, they're taking advantage of the slipstream qualifying. And with the slipstream, it'll help your car go a little bit faster, which means that it is possible to shave off a bit of time. And you just want to try to space yourself just right. Don't forget that slipstream, the range of the slipstream is within 3/4 of a second between yourself and the car in front of you. And the car who is in second place right now on the left side of the screen, they definitely took advantage of the slipstream qualifying. And I think first place took advantage of the slipstream qualifying as well, whereas I didn't, and I didn't get a good lap in. But yeah, slipstream qualifying, it'll be a thing for the higher rated lobbies. In the lower rated lobbies, you're probably going to be better off qualifying by yourself. And once again, you'll have 2 chances to try to get a good qualifying time. But anyways, going on over to the race strategies. So we're doing 18 laps at Autodrome Lago Maggiore West with the Group 4 cars. Fuel is at ×3, which means that fuel will not be an issue for some cars. And the tire wear is a ×4, which means tire wear should not be an issue for most cars. So this race is pretty much a 0-stop race. If your car is not good on fuel, you will have to do a little bit of short shifting and trying to stay under some slipstream to make sure you don't run out of fuel at the very end of the race. If your car is not good on the tires, you will need to adjust your brake balance and drive a little smoothly to make sure that those tires last the entire race. In the case of the Dodge Viper, you pretty much don't really need to worry about fuel saving. I was able to just rev out the car and I still had enough fuel to be able to finish the race. In terms of tire wear, I had the brake balance at +1 at the start of the race, but +2 or +3 should be better as the front tires do wear out a little faster in the Dodge Viper. But yeah, if your car is bad in either the fuel or the tires or both, you just want to adjust your driving style to make sure that you're able to make the whole race. But if your car is good on both things, then, well, you don't really have anything to worry about. So let's take a look at this race. And not too long ago, there was another Dodge Viper that was with us and they unfortunately messed up. And that's going to be one of the things for this race. You want to make sure that you don't mess up bad enough to the point where you pretty much paint yourself as a target. Overtaking here at Maggiore West is going to be pretty difficult, and while you can try to take advantage of the slipstream to get a pass done, the turns, it makes it a bit difficult to get a clean fast pass done. So if you try to pass someone, then there's a chance that you're going to end up in a pretty long battle, which means that you will lose pretty much a lot of time. So if you do decide to pass someone, you want to make sure it is fast and clean. So you pretty much need to pick your battles, and also you want to work with those around you. So for example, first, second, and third place, well, I'm in third place, we're pretty much minding our own business for now. We're just taking advantage of the slipstream, not really engaging in any sort of battles, just trying to do our thing, and we're easily getting away from everyone else. If I remember correctly, I think fourth place, they're completely by themselves. So with us taking advantage of the slipstream and doing a bit of bump drafting when possible, we're easily going to get away from fourth place and everyone else. And in a bit, you are going to see second place try to get a pass done, and this is going to be one of the ways that you're going to want to try to get the pass done, because he gets a really good one done and I think we barely lost any time. So yeah, it's going to happen in a bit, going down the main straight, and this is pretty much going to be one of the best places to get the overtake done as long as you can make it fast. So he's going to brake just a bit later than the BMW, and he's going to get the pass done fast and clean, no fuss, and we're able to continue on with our race, and I don't think we even lost any time. And in a bit, I'm going to go for an overtake. And this is because first and second place ended up going pretty wide, so they lost a lot of speed, and this presented an opportunity for me to get a pass done. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to get past the both of them, and barely lost any time because we were on the main straight. I am going to be a little defensive because I want to not brake right in front of them. So yeah, you really need to pick your battles, and if an opportunity presents itself like how it presented itself to me, then try to go for the overtake. And the thing is that, for example, right now, second and third place are going to start to fight for position. They're within the 3/4 of a second slipstream range, but because they started to fight on turns 1 and 2, they're going to end up falling off of my 3/4 of a second range, so they are no longer in my slipstream. So now it's going to be a little easier for me to break away from them and form a gap. And if they keep fighting, then that gap is only going to get larger and larger to the point where they can no longer catch up to me. But if they were to work together, then they could easily catch up to me, and then at that point it'd be a 3-car battle for first place again. But anyways, let's skip on over towards the very end of the race. So I had the brake balance at +1 again, but I did eventually change it to +2 and +3. I think that's a little better for the Dodge Viper, just to try to preserve the front tires. And you can see on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, tire wear, not much of an issue. It barely presented itself. And the fuel, we're pretty much good on the fuel. Don't really have to do any sort of fuel saving on the Viper. And once again, depending on the car that you're in, you may have to be a little more wary about your tire wear or your fuel consumption, or even both. But there are some cars where you don't really have to worry about either thing. So at the end of the day, this is a zero stop race. Once again, keep an eye on your tire wear and your fuel, especially if one of them or both of them present an issue in your car. Adjust the brake balance or do a little bit of short shifting if one of those present an issue. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you carefully pick your battles, because you want to try to make sure that you don't lose much time, and cooperate with other cars when it's possible. And just remember that teamwork makes the meme work. But anyways, let's take a look at places to overtake and the penalty serving zone. The main straight is one of the better places to get the overtake done, especially with the help of the slipstream. And once again, make sure you carefully pick your battles, because you don't want to get into any long battles, especially through this part over here, as it's really easy to lose a lot of time. So hopefully at this point you already got the pass done and you're in a single file line again, because if you're going too wide, then you're losing a lot of time. The back straight is going to be another place to get the overtake done, especially with the help of the slipstream, and the penalty serving zone is hanging out right here. There's only one penalty serving zone in this track. So hopefully you got the overtake done as you go into the big banky boy. If you try to go too wide through here, you do risk losing a lot of time and a potential incident if a car touches the gravel. And you don't want to battle out through here. Try to stay in a single file line. And these next two turns, they're a bit more situational in terms of getting an overtake done. You can get it done, but once again, very situational, and it's also really easy to lose a lot of time if you start to fight it out through these turns. And the final turn, once again, very situational. I wouldn't suggest going for an overtake unless if it's the very last lap or two. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this guide, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. And if you like this video, you can press the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I do have a membership program thing, which you can check out in the description down below. So this is Miss MCA, wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.